So hello everyone, welcome to Football Mania. Welcome to our preview of Premier League Game Week 14. So let's start with Chelsea on this one tonight. Wolves, it's a very tough game for you. Possibly the last kick of the game you lost it. Thoughts on that game?
It was a really poor performance once again from the boys, and our two marquee German signings once again didn't click into gear. And so we need to have a positive response in this one home to West Ham. And I think Wolves deserved their victory because after they went behind, they really took the game to Chelsea, and in my opinion, deserved victory for them.
I mean,
As for
yeah.
hmm,
Are you
uh,
worried about Werner's positioning? Because the last game he was like basically hugging the touchline, which isn't the type of player he is.
see, many people say Werner is can also play in that wing position, but the truth is he's a natural center forward, and what he likes to do is he likes to drift into those wide areas.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he is an out and out winger. Of course, he's not. He against Wolves, you could see he started on the left, he shifted to the right, then again he was just switching flanks and he was helpless. What he needs is he needs to play through the middle and on the left with someone like Pulisic. What he can do is he can switch positions with him. And if you look at Werner's best performance so far in the Premier League, that came against Southampton in that 3-3 draw, in which he scored 2 goals and assisted another one. And in that match, he played through the middle. So his best position, of course, is through the middle as a striker, but he's having to play on the wing because, of course, injuries and so.
I mean, another player I would say like had a poor performance, Kai Havertz. I mean, would you start? I don't think we would be even be in the contention to start against West Ham. What do you think about it?
Yeah, he was really poor against Wolverhampton, and hasn't really set the world alight so far in the Premier League. And we have to be patient with him. It's just that. See, he's still 21 years old. He's moved to a new league, and of course, he's not playing in his natural position, right, which is the number 10 position. He's having to play as a number 8, and in this 4-3-3 formation, we know Mason Mount loves to go forward. So often Kai Havertz is seen dropping back and helping out defensively, and naturally, it's affecting his game. He's not able to have much of an influence, and even his passes are. He is not creating chances. His passes are mostly backwards or short or the easy ones. But I think we need to give him time. That's all we can hope for.
All right, West Ham away. Are you optimistic? I mean, I've heard that's a bogey team for you. So
It seems like every team is a bogey team for Chelsea. Thank God Bournemouth have been relegated. See, it's a home game. It's at Stamford Bridge, and last season, shockingly again, it was around this time only of the year they lost at home to West Ham also, and West Ham actually did the league double over Chelsea.
yeah.
So hopefully we can put at least this record. We can set this record right and get the win. And they are a top half team against whom we have struggled this season. So this is a great opportunity to put this right.
I mean, to finish it up, what midfield would you go with?
I will go with Conte, of course. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Mason Mount and Kovacic. And Kai Havertz, if
Good.
suppose we are comfortable going into the hour mark or somewhere around then I would bring him on for actually not Kovacic. I would bring him on for Mount and then shift to a 4-2-3-1 formation so that he can play through the number 10 position.
All right. So let's move on to Liverpool now. Siddharth, hey,
Yeah, I would like to
yeah,
comment
sure.
on the Chelsea and Wolves game. That two games, Chelsea and Wolves and Everton and Leicester, I saw fully,
Okay.
and I had a few points like Pulisic was playing very well, and why he was made to shift from left wing to right wing. He could have influenced the game more if he was on the left wing. And Chelsea, after the 67 after 60 or 70 minutes, they energy wise, their energies, their temperament, their body language dropped a bit. That's when Pedro Neto and Podence,
Foden.
their amazing
Podence,
players.
they were good.
Both of them, they capitalized. So I want to ask Pranay that he thought, had Frank Lampard become a bit static by trying to rest Giroud and bringing on Tammy, and not he couldn't make the right decision at the right time, like shifting Pulisic to the left and Werner to the center. I mean, a very active manager would have taken uh, those decisions, and maybe it could have helped Chelsea.
Yes, so Shivam, actually the thing is, if we play Pulisic through the left and Werner through the middle, we don't have anyone from the right wing. So
Okay,
because Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi both are missing, and
okay, okay.
as for why Pulisic was changing flanks, that was only because actually it was more that Werner was changing flanks because he wasn't getting joy from either of the flanks, so he was constantly trying to change and see how it goes on. And in the first half, if you see, Pulisic was down the left, and Chilwell was also making overlapping runs. So there
Yeah,
was a big bias towards the left flank, and it was really reaping rewards. I mean, Chelsea were
yeah.
really
Left
looking
wing was
dangerous.
more important,
Yeah,
obviously, but Big Werner he missed a lot of chances from the left wing.
yeah, and Reece James, who normally you see putting in like fantastic deliveries from the right back position,
Yeah.
he wasn't really into the game in terms of in the attacking sense.
Yes,
And
energy-wise,
Chilwell,
after the first goal, Giroud looked the most dangerous player in the Chelsea squad. Kante, obviously, he's a workhorse, he's a machine.
yeah.
Apart from Kante, only Giroud looked the most threatening. Kai Havertz,
Yes,
he still
Kai
needs
Havertz,
to
yeah, we know,
adapt.
we talked about him. Giroud was threatening, and what I felt was, you're right. Lampard said it in his post-match conference that fatigue is starting to creep in, which is understandable given the packed schedule due to the COVID-19 situation. And Chelsea just, kind of gave up control of the match after going into the lead. It was really like a performance from last season where they used to take the lead, just sit back, and allow
Yeah.
teams to come at them, and it costed them ultimately.
Yeah, Wolves were Adama Traore got injured, yet he still played on. And then I guess Pudence was substituted. Still, Pedro Neto somehow he all on his own with the energy that Wolves had. Somehow they made it possible. Amazing
Yeah,
goal.
Traore Traore still hasn't showed his full potential yet in
Yeah,
this season
he
yet.
always gets
Like,
reduced to a super sub role. I don't know why.
yeah,
yeah,
Yes,
there
yeah,
have been some issues with between Wolves and Traore. There were some transfer rumors also, some
Yeah,
contract
yeah.
situation
In
also
this
is
game
going
he
on,
got
I think.
injured very early. He probably had the problem in his thigh or something.
He actually came
But
on
still
as
he
a
played on.
substitute. He
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
came
still
on
he
as
played
a,
on.
and yeah, he came on as a
right, right.
sub, got injured, but yeah, he still played on.
I probably Wolves didn't have anyone to replace him
Yeah.
on the right wing.
So okay, now let's come to Liverpool. I mean, Siddharth, you guys probably played off the
Yeah,
title rivals this season for possibly the Firmino scored a winner, right? Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. The
So
header
did you
from
feel lucky by those
Robertson's
three?
corner.
Did you feel those 3 points were lucky because like Steven Bergwijn? Oh my God, he should have scored at least one of them.
Uh, I'll take it. I'll take it. However it comes, I'll take it.
Top of the table again.
Yeah, I think Spurs are
no,
Liverpool at 4 points ahead.
actually, it's a question of like everybody were questioning like you can't
But
really
uh, Reece Williams did play well though. He
Yeah,
did
he
make
was fantastic.
very few mistakes. I didn't see much.
Yeah, Hari, you
Not
were saying.
much. Not many
no, like
mistakes from the back line.
many had these doubts like can Tottenham survive or this title race only with this counter attack. We have seen they can make mistakes even in counter attacks.
They
They
were
need
out
to
towards
change
the
their style.
end.
Mm. So still they like every Jose would come and say that like if Bergwijn or Kane capitalize their chance they would have won the match or something. But still it's a match. People can make mistake and they can't just really park the bus and you know if they get one or two opportunities and score only in those things, he can't expect the players to do so, throughout the campaign and all that.
Though in the
That's a
first
question,
half,
like,
I felt that the the referee did make few mistakes in the first half. It could have been more if the referee would have made decisions otherwise.
Okay, so you guys are playing
Sure.
Crystal Palace next. So, any thoughts about that game?
Crystal Palace.
Yeah. I think Mane is out for this.
What else can I say? Zaha.
Yeah, Zaha, he has been really
Mane
good.
is out. Zaha. Thiago might be back.
Yeah, I heard Klopp saying that.
He's back in training, but he's not completely fit. But he's back in training. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Even I heard even Shaqiri is back for this one.
Shaqiri, I have given up on that guy. I haven't seen much, so what else can I expect?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, he's not played a lot by Klopp.
Yeah. Even if he plays, he hasn't even trained. He hasn't even trained that much, so can't expect much.
So, what prediction are you going for?
Crystal Palace.
Palace is a
It could
tricky
be a tight
opposition.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky opposition. Exactly.
They're coming off a 1-1 draw from West Ham.
They've got Eze also. He's a young prospect. Good prospect, Eze. And their keeper also, oh my God, Gaita.
Yeah.
Could be a tight game. That's all I can say.
All right. So I think we should move to City now. I mean, Hari, you drew against West Brom of all teams. Any thoughts about that game?
I don't know. I can't make much comments about that game because
City.
it was a terrible draw, and still I feel for our strikers because in the last injury time, there were around 3 crosses, from De Bruyne from the right flank. It was like those magical crosses they couldn't convert, and there were a lot of shots which their keeper was he was really impressive with many saves, but still City we have seen this season their conversion rate is really less, even though they have the 2 shots and dominating with the ball, and they are creating more chances, but still they could not capitalize that in the final third.
So Sterling needs to convert more.
Yeah, even Sterling.
Sometimes we doubt whether he's a world-class player or just is it just quality of deliveries coming in? What do you
always
think?
talk about his end product.
Yeah, end product. Yeah.
Personally, I would feel that he's always overrated,
Yeah.
and he's not giving his 100% to his to the team. So we'll see. But Southampton again, they're having a very good season this time.
Yeah.
With Ward
Dannings is back.
Yes, and like our defense, we are not very solid with having too many changes, and if we are getting any defense, free kick in the defensive side, we have to be very careful with Wardhouse and his free kicks. They are really impressive, and with their keeper, he's also he has a lot of save registered this season, so this will be a good match to watch. This
Southampton. Yeah.
I will settle for a 2-2 draw this time.
You don't seem optimistic about that.
It's not like every game we can hope for a win, because the performances are they are similar, and it needs some improvement. So we'll see how that shifts. We have to each player is doing something, and nobody is really consistent other than Cancelo or Walker. So it depends, and even De Bruyne sometimes he misses too many shots. It goes way off target. So we'll see, but yeah, they have to change. But maybe after the what Boxing Day or something. This tight fixtures, these game weeks will test Man City.
Is Aguero back for this one?
Like, he played last match,
Yeah,
he came at the end,
yeah.
but I don't think he'll start. We'll see. If he starts, even though he starts, his XGs are really low, and he's not even Or everyone, they're like they're not finding the back of the net. They're not targeting the corners, their shots.
City is not being clinical enough.
Yeah.
Yes, really.
And I feel De Bruyne needs rest. He's played a lot of minutes. He's only
Yeah,
creative midfielder.
Maybe.
He's the
Yeah.
he
most
played
important
full
player.
90 against
But
Fulham. I don't know why he played that full 90.
but still, he needs even neutrals know that he
Yeah.
needs rest. He needs to come back rejuvenated.
Right.
Now, Shivam, before coming on to United Leeds, let me you said you watched the Everton Leicester game. So any thoughts we are gonna face Everton this week? So how did that play? I
Yeah,
mean,
Everton. Pranay created a chat room in which he said that Leicester were inconsistent. They were not clinical enough in that game. But I thought where Carlo Ancelotti won the tactical battle. Everton did not create more chances than Leicester, but they created few and defended very well, and they made the most of their two chances. Richarlison he hit a good shot, but you expect Kasper Schmeichel to save those, but it was an off day for him, and he couldn't save that. And next, I feel it was a header from Holgate. He got a header.
It was a tap in,
Leicester,
I think,
yeah,
two,
Leicester were
three rebounds.
dominating. Leicester were dominating, but somehow Holgate got that header, and then it was 2-0. And then Everton, they were well drilled. They maintained their shape, and I thought they probably will miss James Rodriguez, but this somehow they are flexible enough not to miss him. And
Is Alan
yes,
injured?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
Alan? Yeah.
and Leicester, I feel need a very a change. They should they need someone who can dominate the central midfield. Somehow they are getting outplayed in the central midfield. The quality to the final third. Jamie Vardy didn't receive even one quality delivery. Barnes was good, and I feel they probably need that overhaul in the central midfield, so for their final third to come good.
I mean, I'd fancy our chances against them this weekend because Ancelotti recently announced that Allen is also injured for this one. But I don't know, any of you, if you saw the Southampton game, we were growing into the game, and again, Gabriel got a red card, and we were defending with 10 men for 35
I
minutes.
don't know, like how you keep
I
on
don't
taking
know.
red cards under Michael Arteta.
Attitude.
Thank God
Attitude.
Aubameyang got back into the
Yeah,
score.
that's really
Yeah, and it was a good goal, I thought.
yeah,
Very typical Arsenal goal.
yeah. I mean,
Saka is coming good.
yeah,
That's
Saka
a
is
good
always
Saka.
looking for
He's my
that.
favorite player in the
Yeah.
team.
I mean, he's the only
Saka.
one looking for that clear pass to forward.
Yeah. He's the most creative player
Yeah,
on the
Yeah.
team.
And the youngest.
yeah. That's the worrying part because I
Yeah.
don't want us to overplay him.
Yeah. That's
We'll see how this January transfer window.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys heard that Dominic Salzburg guy that we were looking at. He already moved to RB Leipzig.
RB Leipzig, yes.
Yeah. I hope we get
They
that.
keep on picking
Yeah,
from Salzburg.
yeah.
What about Ozil? I mean, what is his future?
I think that ship is sailed, man. I don't know why Arsenal fans complain. I mean, yes, he is the creative midfielder, but I mean, last season he had 2 assists. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we would be better with him right now.
Yeah.
But
He doesn't do much
Track back.
much of what, yes.
Yeah.
He's only interested in staying forward, and that's
Yeah.
why probably managers don't like him.
And even creativity he has been declined. I mean, he had 2 or 3 assists from last season.
Yeah, but last season he didn't get to play a lot of the games.
Yeah, he was in and out a lot. Emery didn't feature him.
Yeah, and Arteta got him for a
Yeah.
few games. Then again, he also dropped him.
Today there was rumor Isco is probably one of the targets for
Yeah.
Arsenal. I saw it in what
Isco has been out of form for a long time. This is a very risky signing.
Welcome to Arsenal then. I mean, I hope
No,
we get that OR guy from what is that, Olympiacos. Have you guys heard of them?
Sorry,
They
didn't
were
catch the name.
OR
Hausam,
He's in
from
Lyon,
Lion,
right?
like
Yeah,
Lyon.
Leon.
Lion.
Oh my bad, my bad.
Yeah,
Leon. Yeah. We were looking at him in
that's
the
all.
summer, but we couldn't
Yeah.
land him.
I saw him against Bayern Munich
Yeah.
in that Champions League tie, and I thought he
Yeah,
played quite well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
really.
He's good. He's good.
So if
Uh,
he's going to occupy the left flank, then probably you will, make it. If
Then Aubameyang can at least play as a striker.
yeah.
That's what I've been
Mm.
calling for.
Yeah.
So I think I'd fancy my chances in Salah, and I think even Martinelli is again back for this one. I hope he plays against Chelsea. I know Pranay, you remember that goal. Fantastic.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
that was
it.
a very bad match. Please don't remind me of it.
So let's move on to United now. I mean, how do you guys keep doing this? Is this like a
Come back.
strategy now? Like going 1-0 down, Shivam?
I don't know. This relationship between the fans and the club is turning very abusive now. It has become very love-hate kind of relationship. I mean, look, people will say that Dean Henderson made that mistake, but in the build-up, I mean, Harry Maguire and Lindelof both looked very static. They were not Maguire and Lindelof. Their movement wasn't very great, wasn't very good, and that kind of affected Henderson. And yeah, it was mainly his mistake, but Maguire should have played it forward rather than giving it back in a dangerous position to Dean Henderson when McGoldrick and the other player were pressing. But yeah, Lole loves Maguire and Lindelof. What can I say? Then Lindelof gave that delightful ball to Rashford. The first touch was beautiful from Rashford, and then he converted. Then Pogba gave that delightful ball to Martial. Martial converted it, and then the third was also from Rashford. But I watched only the first half. Uh, I don't know why I lost interest. Even though United were leading,
Mm.
but still, I don't know. I'm more interested in watching Aston Villa games.
Which
I
was a
love
drab
to watch.
affair this
I
time.
can watch the Aston Villa games just for Jack Grealish. I mean, he makes football look very beautiful.
If I'm not wrong, Manchester United versus Leeds is a great historic fixture as
Yes.
well.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but
After
as I've clearly expressed, I'm an all-outer from from I probably feel 2-3 months now. So Leeds, I saw the highlights of their game versus Newcastle. They play expensive football. They'll attack even though
I really love them,
Yeah.
watching play. Wow,
Yeah.
like beautiful football.
I mean,
The tactics.
they defend man to man for 90 minutes. I don't know how can any team do that.
Leeds.
Their
Yeah,
attacking
their defense is a
style,
problem.
they're really active, throughout the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But
try
the
to push
issue for
hard.
them is in like this happened against Chelsea also. They start to tire towards the end of the matches. I mean, against Chelsea after the 70-minute mark,
A bit
they
similar to Southampton.
Mhm.
Somewhat similar to Southampton.
Yeah, and against Newcastle, I also saw, I mean, how many bodies they commit forward in their attacks, and still they don't get caught on the break. It's just amazing. All credit to Marcelo Bielsa. My only question is, did he use the same tactics in the championship last season? I mean, there you have at least 2 games per week,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's sustainable.
He did actually, because I watched a documentary they have on Amazon. The
Yeah,
first
yeah.
season they couldn't qualify for the Premier League was a major reason, because like they got tired at the end of it and they were piling up on injuries.
Yeah, and they were defeated by Frank Lampard's Derby County.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So all in
So,
all, Shivam, going into Leeds
building
game.
up to the Leeds game, I feel Leeds are going to attack. It's clear as day. They're going to attack, but always unpredictable. He might come up with a back five just to sit back and hit them on the counter. or if we play a similar game as in the Sheffield game, we might go all out attack. But uh, as far as I know, he'll go with the back four and double pivot of Fred and McTominay, and then Bruno and the front three will be there. I hope the Martial and Rashford getting on the score sheet is a good positive. Martial will take a lot of confidence from the last game, and Cavani will probably be used as a substitute.
Isn't
We
Cavani was fined, right? Was he banned? I don't know. I've heard he
No, no,
was
no.
fined.
He was charged. They've sent a notice to him, and he has January 4. He has the time till January 4 to reply. And after they'll receive his reply, they'll decide what specific punishment they'll grant Cavani. So he'll be available for the game. He's getting back to fitness. He'll probably be used as a substitute, and I hope to see an attacking Manchester United. I mean, okay, Ole wants to save his job and stuff, but the philosophy and the DNA of the club should be there. Because if they sat back and somehow these guys, Bamford and Harrison, Kevin Phillips, Rodrigo Moreno is a very important player for them.
Moreno.
Creative as well as he scores as well as creative. Bamford and Harrison, Kevin Phillips, they're very important players. So they can rip United open if they get the rhythm. So it's important uh, uh, not to let them get into the rhythm. So I'm
And
excited
particularly
to see the lineup.
if they make the same mistake like they made against Sheffield, Leeds can punish them really bad because they press so high.
Yeah, if they make the same mistake they made against Tottenham, Leeds can punish them very badly.
I mean, like, are you worried? Like, why does he even need?
Yes, I'm worried. I'm very worried. especially Leeds scored 5 last game against Newcastle. So I am worried.
But there's one glaring weakness in this Leeds side from set pieces and corners, particularly. Like they just don't win the first header, and this is something maybe which Man U can look to attack.
Yes,
Like,
but we have got Maguire with a big head, but he hasn't scored that many headers.
He gets on the ends of it, but get it on target.
He's not clinical enough. He doesn't get the accuracy right. So Leeds have got a good goalkeeper as well. So
Meslier.
They've got a bit dodgy defense, but they've got a good keeper.
I think he's under 21. He's maybe a teenager. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably you're right. Yes, but he has that temperament.
They had that Madrid backup keeper who was starting at the start of the season. Theo, does anyone know about him? They have him on their bench. The guy who was the backup keeper for Madrid when Keylor Navas was there. Kiko Casilla.
Yeah.
He has benched Meslier.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. I mean, why not play young players? I'm always in support of that.
So to finish, I know Shivam, you said you're only outer, but it seems like you guys are having a really good season. I mean, is it fair to say you're in the title race right now?
I won't say that. I'm an alert. I mean, look, the utter bullshit he says in his press conferences. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to get something personalized. He said, what, teams are coming and sitting. They're happy to take 1 point from us. Arsenal were lucky that they got a penalty and they scored. I mean, you don't say such things. I mean, Arsenal, they earned the penalty, they scored the penalty, they won the game. And if that is into consideration, Chelsea were unlucky not to have that penalty when Maguire got Espelakota, he got choked.
I think so, if Arsenal were lucky, then Ole should take responsibility for his team's lackluster performance instead of blaming it on
If he was not a Manchester United legend, if his name was Jose Mourinho or Louis van Gaal, he would have been sacked twice already. But just because you got it in that tap in that game against Bayern Munich. Remember the European Cup?
Like
Bayern.
only that one performance, like changed the
Yeah.
whole
I
perspective.
mean, I never see other fans saying back this manager or back that manager, but a lot of
I also don't like that, especially in Old Trafford. He's just sitting up in his dugout watching from the TV. There's
yeah,
no
he's
passion from
watching from his
him.
iPad.
Yeah, he should be on the touchline.
Yeah, and always
At least some.
Mike Phelan is
he
there on the
doesn't
touchline.
even utilize the squad properly. I mean, half of the players are just starving for minutes, and
Pogba.
Pogba started the last
Even
couple of
Donny.
games.
Yeah, very few games.
Yeah, but yeah, probably I'll play Donny over Pogba even in the
Oh.
last 2 games. I mean, okay, he's not that flamboyant, and he can't strike it from the 40 yards, but he's more consistent than Pogba. Yes, the last 2 games Pogba has been good. I don't know, his spirits are up, his energy levels are up, and definitely deserves to start the next game. But all he needs to start utilizing his squad more, and the energy level should be there. The United DNA that should look there, and he needs to. I mean, this is the problem. The centre back pairing. Why are we not playing Tonzabi?
Even like even in a game like against Man City, Luke Shaw was played and not Telles was made to sit in
Yeah,
there.
and Luke Shaw was just coming off an injury. He didn't play any minute before. That was a very defensive move. And still he says, we play for the victory. He said against the press conference in Leipzig that it's not United way to defend. And then you play 7 defenders. When Mourinho came second with United in his second season, Ole was the manager of Molde. He said, oh, the fans are not happy. Nobody is happy.
Well, to be fair to Mourinho, he came second to probably the greatest Premier League side ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was one of his biggest achievement in football.
Yeah, he said it is his biggest achievement.
Anti-football, Mourinho.
I think if he win something with Spurs, that would top it off now.
Yeah, but now with Ole, we are realizing even Mourinho, we are starting to value Mourinho.
Mourinho recently said it, didn't he, that at Man U he wasn't given sufficient time, and he
Yes,
wasn't backed
he also
up
complained
also.
that the hierarchy, they never
Yeah, he wasn't
properly
backed up.
communicated to him what they wanted, what was the roadmap, what they actually wished him to do, and there was confusion and clutter. He was also he turned a bit grey and negative. He became a bit grimy, but he's improved on that. Now he's more fun. He's a lot more fun and lot cool now at Tottenham. You can see the shift in his attitude.
Yeah, I mean, he had the guts to say the best team lost, even though his team created one shot, had
Exactly.
2 shots
Against
on target,
Liverpool.
24% possession. Yeah.
Yeah, but Spurs
Salty.
more clinical with the ball.
Yeah, I think
I
if
remember when
Bergwijn had many
He
chances.
was trying to cheer his
Yeah.
teammates up. His
yes,
players up.
even again, I remember when Chelsea beat in Mourinho's United 4-0. So even then he became so salty. He was telling Antonio Conte, that you don't celebrate after 4-0. I mean, he was just looking for excuses.
Yeah,
I think Conte said to him like he should see what he has done and think what things he has done in the past on the touchline. After that,
Conte and Mourinho had
that was a great
turned
rivalry.
a bit negative also at the end. Yeah. But this
Yeah,
Tottenham
come
Mourinho
on,
is
who
very
doesn't
cool.
have it in Mourinho?
This Mourinho is different from that Mourinho. Yet that Mourinho is better than this Ole.
I mean, so like I think we have covered. Sorry.
When United appointed Ole, I didn't know about them that much as a manager. I thought, oh, this is the guy who got relegated with Cardiff. What are United even doing?
He got relegated with Cardiff and he used to manage Molde. That is his own resume. And he got that happen against Bayern Munich.
I really want what's to come,
but
how he's going to transform. I don't know. At least
I don't want
to see
United thriving.
I don't know.
Good thing ever dies.
At least Saf should tie in peace. This last days, you can see some nice football from Man U. I really feel for him.
So I think yeah, we've covered every team. So does anyone know who Spurs are playing this week?
I was
I think
going
Leicester.
to ask the
Yeah,
Leicester.
same
Leicester.
thing.
Yeah,
Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah,
So,
it's Leicester home.
yeah. So thoughts on that game, guys?
See, with Tottenham, what the thing is, they like to sit back, counter. We've said that a lot of times. But the problem with them is when they carve out those chances, those golden chances, they need to have. It feels like they need to have Son or Kane at the end of them because, like we saw the Bergwijn case, if they miss those kind of chances, they are beatable. Like they rely on those one or two chances only. Like
Yeah.
against Liverpool, that Bergwijn post, and then from the corner somehow Kane. I don't know what he was doing, heading to the ground from 3 or 4 yards out. So they need to have a thing at the moment, Kane or Son at the end of these chances. Otherwise, they look vulnerable. Even a team like Crystal Palace, you know how Hodgson plays. Even they were dominating them, let alone Liverpool.
Yeah, but I think Leicester's central midfield is kind of weak now, and Tottenham have got a great central midfield, and probably Marino will see this. And Tottenham, if the central midfield dominates, then they will create chances for Son and Kane. And I predict Tottenham victory because Leicester, I mean, they can't sign somebody just tomorrow to rectify their central midfield, and their defense is also maybe carved open by Kane and Son.
How
I want
about
to see.
Madison?
I want to
Madison?
see Gareth Bale. Fully
Madison is
into it.
good.
Yeah, Madison is
Marino
good.
is being very protective about Gareth Bale. Now it's the time to throw him in the scene.
I
We've
remember
all been
I
waiting for it.
saw last season's game, this corresponding fixture, Tottenham versus Leicester, and Leicester were absolutely dominating Tottenham. They were creating chances. Lloris was making some great saves.
Yeah.
And then on the counter attack, Kane scores 2 goals. And all of a sudden, all the belief started flowing out from Leicester.
What
They
about
need
you?
that leader in
Yeah.
midfield, probably. Leicester.
Is NDD back? I don't know. I've not been
Yes,
seeing Leicester's game recently.
he played the last game against Everton, but he wasn't very influential in that game. Everton midfielders bossed the game.
Havertz didn't play that game either, right?
No, he
No,
probably
no.
not be available for the next one as well.
Yeah, he is not. He and Allen both are out.
Allen played the last game.
Yeah.
Probably not this game against
A
Tottenham.
lot of onus on Dokore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Doucouré is
Doucouré.
good.
Yeah,
He's good, but
he's
he's good.
amazing. He was amazing against Leicester. He was probably the man of the match as well.
Yeah. 2 or 3 chances he cleared on his own.
Yeah, he
I
was
don't know.
very good with his,
When he was in
clearances.
Watford, he used to score some goals of his were like outstanding, I would say.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. We will meet after. I think we have midweek fixtures too after this week, right?
Yeah, we'll meet very often these days.
Yeah.
I
Festive
don't
season.
think there are midweek fixtures next week because after this we have a Boxing Day fixtures.
Yeah. It's Arsenal Chelsea, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, good luck to your team. I mean,
What are the Rose Derby predictions? United versus Leeds predictions.
United will Leeds.
Yeah.
I don't see United losing anything right now, man. I don't know how they do it. I'll go 2-1 United.
I'm gonna go for 3-1 victory to Leeds. I'm maybe a bit too optimistic for Leeds, but I think that could happen.
Yeah, the way their forward line and attackers are playing.
Especially it's at Old Trafford, right? I mean, their record is so bad there this season.
Yes,
that's the
terrible.
only reason for this prediction. If it was at yeah,
they don't like the home atmosphere, I guess. And Ole made an excuse. He said, when the fans will come, start playing better.
The lack of it.
Yeah. What about you, Hari? What are you going for?
I'll go with 2-1 for Leeds.
Siddhant?
Uh, 2-1. 2-1. Crystal Palace.
All right, and I think that way.
Yeah, I'll go 2-all. 2-all.
To all.
2-1. Safe. 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 Safe.
Like both City are United. Yeah, we are very.
I don't know why I am optimistic though.
See, at some point they'll pick it up. It's not like they're gonna have a relegation battle or something. So
I hope so. This is the game then.